Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Psychic Medium Raymond Guzman, and today I'm going to be doing a psychic reading, and I hope I pronounce her name right, on Kim Zolciak-Biermann. I believe that's how you say it. Kim Zolciak-Biermann. Okay, so if you're not familiar with who she is, she's a reality TV star. She has been on the Real Housewives show, and then she has been on Bravo. You know, she has her own endeavors, business ventures, and this is her partner here, pictured here, Kroy. Biermann, who is an ex-NFL player. He is now a free agent, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know anything about them, but my best friend, Candy, shout out to Candy, suggested that I actually do this reading. So that's where I am right now. And I hope that, if you're a fan of Kim's, that you know that I'm coming from a place of love and light, and going to share with what I see for this year, primarily, and what is coming up. Anything else for 2020 and beyond. Whatever spirit has to say. So immediately, with her, I like her. I really feel like she has a great heart, a beautiful soul. I do feel like she can be a little bit of a diva. That's just the energy that I'm seeing. But I don't mean that in a derogatory way or a bad way at all. She is very girly, but she is also a very business-minded person. When it comes to her husband, Kroy, he's very lighthearted. I like him as well. I think he's very handsome. I feel like he is just a very good energy, a very bright energy, very much lighter than Kim. Kim does seem to have a little bit of baggage that kind of weighs her down. And this, I'm not talking about baggage like in terms of previous relationships and children, but really just a lot on the more spiritual side and emotional side. She has a lot of fears and insecurities and things that, a lot of us carry. But she kind of, even though she puts on this kind of strong lady, kind of outspoken, I do feel like on the inside there are pieces of her that are broken and that she's still healing. The healing process, guys, is a continual process. It's not something that you overcome immediately. I do feel like this is a soulmate union, a soulmate relationship. He is in his 30s, she is in her 40s, so there is a little bit of an age gap, and people, like to speculate, but I do feel like there is true love here. I do feel like there are things changing in the relationship. When they first got together, I feel like there was a lot of love, a lot of passion, and just a lot of fiery energy between the two of them. However, I do feel like on Kroy's part, being that he has not been signed to a team and he kind of retired, or decided not to, I don't like to use the word retire, but he decided not to, to just be a free agent. I feel like, in many ways he's living in the shadows, and it's not part of his life purpose to not be in sports. His life purpose is to be doing sports and, physical things. When I say physical, like the fitness world, gym, being and doing those kind of things. So I feel like he's going to continue to look into different business ideas for himself eventually over the next 2 to 3 years. This could be opening up like a sports facility, or opening up, some kind of business, and run that himself. I do feel like, again, there is something about him going into like what is it called? Fitness training, doing something along those lines. I feel like he's never going to be totally satisfied just being away from the spotlight, and yes, he enjoys being Kim's husband. He loves the spotlight now, the TV show that they have, everything else, he likes that environment and helping her and, being there for the kids. But I don't feel like that's his true calling. Like, when I tune into him, I see him kind of getting a little pointed on some levels, and he may not verbalize this to Kim, but I feel like they do have like a telepathy together, and they both know more or less what each other is thinking. And she kind of knows, that he's happy, but he's not entirely happy when it comes to his own career. And so I see him kind of planting seeds, networking, having some meetings with some investors. This will happen, like I said, over the next 2 to 3 years, as it progresses, and with her, I continue to see her to, want to have different opportunities on TV, on different shows. I don't feel like this will be her last show, that they're doing. I see her like co-hosting, doing things of that nature. She's just someone that kind of attracts a lot of good, opportunities towards herself when I tune in. I do feel like there is a part of her that feels kind of fulfilled at the moment, but just like I have said before, the future is unwritten. So what I'm giving you right now are just snippets of what I see, but anything can change as time progresses. The relationship is a soulmate karmic relationships. There is a karmic level, and I do feel like Kim came into his life to be as a teacher to Kroy. I don't know why I was going to call him Troy. To Kroy, and so there is a lesson that is she's being like a teacher to him in many ways. And I feel like she's showing him what it is that's part of their purpose, to have basically a very trusting relationship. But things are changing, and I feel like Kim may be getting a little bit, something's going to shift in her either this year or the next couple of years. This could be that he is very much there for her. He's the loving partner, but she's looking for something else. Like that fire and passion, I see it kind of extinguishing out a little bit at a time. And so, she could eventually, I'm not saying that she would, but there is a potential for them to either distance themselves for a little bit, or she could end up being interested in someone else and break Kroy's heart. Now, I'm not saying that she would do that, because I'm not saying she's a cheater, but that's what I'm seeing. And, I have to be very honest. I don't sugarcoat anything when I do these readings. I see that, and I see that there would be a finality eventually to this relationship. So, what we see on TV is a lot of it scripted. What you see on the media, when you see the paparazzi taking pictures of them and they're in tabloids, vacationing in the Bahamas or whatever, those are moments, those are snippets, like I said, and it may look like on the outside, that they're smiling, because keep in mind, they know that the cameras are around. They know people out there are always taking their, they see them, they're going to be taking out their cameras and taking photos. It's just how the way the world works. But I do feel like there is a finality to this relationship eventually, and that's something that we're going to have to see. I do feel like there's going to be a lot of pain, even though Kim, is, like I said, there could be some temptations on her part and even on Kroy's part, but she is going to end up being hurt by all of this again, because I see heartbreak on the horizon, and it could be that Kroy gets an eye on somebody else, and they both decide to have a relationship outside of the marriage, outside of that relationship. So we're going to have to see it, but I see heartbreak and I see ending to this marriage, to this union that they have. And like I said before in other readings, we can have more than one soulmate. That does not mean that we're going to stay together always and forever. And it's sad, but that's just how it is. I feel like once the purpose or the lesson has been served in this karmic relationship, it will dissolve. And I see her with another guy that has dark hair, and he is Caucasian, but he has dark hair, and he is rich as well. So, there is going to be another guy that comes in to her life. And it's going to happen fairly soon. How soon, like I said, it could be 2 to 3 to 4 years, but there is change coming, and I'm very certain about that. And I do feel like she's very assertive, and she knows how to play her cards. She knows exactly what she's doing, and, I feel like, she is almost like a mom. I hate to use that word and say it that way, but I feel like she's kind of like a mom to Kroy, and not because he's younger, because they're not that much apart, years apart in age. But I don't know. I feel like this is kind of like a soulmate union, but she plays more of the mom, and again teaching him about life, things that he may not have known. And I'm not discrediting him or saying that he's not, savvy in the love department, but I do feel like there is a bond and a chemistry, and they'll always be friends. But there's an ending coming eventually, and that's what I'm seeing. I do feel like she wishes that she had not done something. This could be regrets. She lives with a lot of regrets. That's what's coming through from spirit. Things that she did in the past have, that are always going to be a part of her, and they steal her peace, and they can cause her to feel depression and feel like, she's very disconnected from other people. She's always going to be judged for what she's done to her body, what she's done, the decisions that she's made. At the end of the day, she has that inner peace, but at the same time, there is still some disillusionment that the cycles keep repeating. And I feel like in many ways her greatest fear is that her children, her daughters, it's particular her oldest daughter, is it Brielle? I'm not sure what the name is, but I feel like there are some fears that she could be repeating something like the mom. I feel like she doesn't want her children to follow in her footsteps, but she knows at a certain point she cannot stop them, and to a certain extent they are a product of what they saw growing up. So again, whatever she did, whatever she's done, and whatever has been put in front of the kids itself is going to kind of shape and mold their mentality. I do see some rivalry happening, in the long term, with her oldest daughter pulling away from her. I'm not sure what this is all about, but there is going to be something about her pulling away, and again, not wanting to be known as Kim's daughter. Not because she's ashamed of her mom, but because everybody thinks that she's like this spoiled rich kid. And I feel like again, she's going to make her own name for herself and kind of separate from that. I do feel like if she's not careful, her daughter, if she's not careful, she could end up in the wrong relationship and be really hurt. I feel like she needs to hold off on things and not jump into any other relationship at all. And that's coming from spirit. I see Kim, going through researching, and she's on a spiritual path. She's very awakened when it comes to the world of psychics and spirit. I feel like she's very open to that, and she has had her own revelations. I see her on a path of some kind of writing, so there could be a book eventually that is written by her. If I don't know if she's written one before, there's something else coming with writing, and something like a collaboration. There's something about literature, writing, her also reading books. So again, she could be endorsing a book, on her platform that she does like, but she is very much, about beauty, and she wants to teach the world from her mistakes, from what she's learned from beauty, and kind of help educate other people and women. I don't feel like a lot of women understand where she's coming from, but I do get Kim. Even though I don't know her personally, I do feel that she has very genuine efforts in everything that she does, even though again people cannot see that. And I do feel like there's something legal coming up again if she's not careful within the next 2 years. There is something legal coming in. She's going to have to fight somebody trying to sue her again for something frivolous, and she has a good support team. I feel like a good legal team. She's going to conquer that and smash it, whatever it is. It's not gonna last. As weird as this sounds, I don't know about, there's something about her environment, and the only thing that I can feel is like there could be a possibility that there is something in the home that is producing mold, like there's a water leak or a plumbing issue eventually where they live at, that they need to get checked and get remediation for that certain area, because mold could make her sick eventually and make others in the household sick. And I do feel like wherever she's living, that's a temporary place of residence. There is another move within the next 3 years for Kim, and that's what I see. She needs constant change. There's some traveling for her this year. She's going to continue to travel. I feel like when she is alone, away from her children, away from Kroy, she has epiphanies and she has moments where she has received information from her own spirit guides, like pushing through to look at, new things, new opportunities, ideas, revelations about people that are acquaintances or friends, quote unquote friends, but are really frenemies for her. There's also something about a lantern, like that lantern that you would hang outside, that you see with, like a candle you put in it. I don't know if she collects those things or what this is about. It's so random, but it is coming through from spirit. And then I also get that, she's very much in a place right now where her creativity is growing and her her self development as a woman is grown so much, and it's going to grow even more. There's more about networking, traveling, educating, more on TV. The sky's the limit with Kim, and I feel like she is just on the cusp. The greatest challenges will be with her kids. That's where the greatest challenges lie ahead for her. I'm not going to go and read every single child, but I do feel again with her oldest, that's going to be the major issue there. I think her name's Brielle. I'm not sure, but the daughter there, I feel like there's already problems on the horizon if she's not careful. And the other challenge is going to be her love life when it comes to Kroy. And those are the things that she's going to see shifts in over the next year, like I said, for the next 2 to 3 years, but especially in 2020. This is going to shake up her world a little bit because some of this, like, I feel like she already knows intuitively. She, like I said, she loves Kroy. She, the relationship is a soulmate union, but there's problems up ahead, and that's what I see. And it's just something that she has to be careful with, if she wants to, have some peace of mind in her life, because again, a lot of stress has always followed Kim. So this is what I see for Kim Zolciak-Biermann and her husband Kroy Biermann. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. If you did like this video, please smash the like button. Also be sure to subscribe to my channel by hitting that red subscribe button as well as the notification bell icon. And don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Psychic Medium Ray. All of my readings right now are on sale until February 14th, which is the last day. That is on my website, www.raymondguzman.net/shop. Blessings and love and light. Have an amazing day or night wherever you are in the world.